Hey, this is Will Power, and you're listening to the Indie Sports Car Podcast.
Welcome, ICP fans, to another episode of the Indie Sports Car Podcast. Hey, Mizzy.
Hello, hello. And joining us tonight, we have two guests. First is a return veteran to the show, Billy Lehman. Welcome back again, Billy.
Thank you, guys. Happy to be here.
And then our other guest tonight is also returning. It's the second time on. Christian.
I'm here.
Alieso?
Yeah, that pause was for her to get their last name correct.
Oh, is that what that was?
Yeah, that's what that was. Yeah, that's what that was. And I think I butchered it as usual, Alice. So yeah. And I'm gonna let you introduce yourself since I asked, and then there was a 5-minute conversation, but we didn't get to how would you like to be introduced. So tell us about yourself, Christian, again.
I think he's an author. I think he's a race car driver. I think he's on TV. And but yeah, Christian.
He's a man of many trades.
He really is. I'm impressed.
Well, thank you, man. Thank you. I appreciate that. And feeling a little bit under the weather, so I apologize to anybody listening if I cough a little here and there. But when you guys asked me to be on, I couldn't say no. One of my favorite shows for sure. So
thanks,
brother.
Thanks for appreciate that. Well, why don't you tell everybody out there what you got going on, man? I mean, you got a little bit of everything going on. So, I mean, you're definitely racing at Iowa, definitely racing at Watkins Glen for USF 2000. Last time you were on, we were talking about a book you got coming out, and you just dropped the bomb on us about a TV show. So, talk a little bit about the TV show and the book, man.
Sure. My book, My Life and Story, The Outside Groove, can be found on Amazon.com. We're doing a little bit of re-editing, so it'll be re-released here pretty shortly. Just basically documents my life, because everybody always asks when they meet me, how did you become a racer? How did you get to this point? And my story is not typical at all. At all. So it just basically documents all the struggles and crazy things that I've had to do to get to this point, all the sacrifices that I've had to make, being homeless, sleeping in my car, just all and all that stuff is in there. So documents my time as a Army veteran in Iraq, documents my struggle with type 1 diabetes, and all those little things that are unique about me. So really good read, if I do say so myself. And definitely I hope you guys can pick it up. My Life and Story, The Outside Groove, by Cosby Media Productions. Yep. And the TV show, which I'm really pumped about, I got randomly found online by the casting directors. This wasn't something I had auditioned for or anything like that. They just kind of chose me and contacted me. We did the interview and everything just went well. And the premise of the show was kind of like, if anybody's seen Gone in 60 Seconds,
great movie. It's
kind of like that. Amazing movie. But instead of stealing cars, because that's frowned upon here, I'm taking a road trip all across America and just basically finding America's rarest cars and putting them all together for a really, really big car show at the end of the season. So it should be really, really cool.
I love the premise. That's great.
Right.
That's interesting.
And when they were just asking me what cars do you want to drive, I just got so happy. Man, because I got a list that belongs on a scroll. It's that long, just cars I've been just itching to get my hands on. So very excited about.
Well, a buddy of mine just found a very, very rare I believe it's a 1968 GTX, very rare car with the three I'm so bad with Mopar. 383, I want to say it is. That's got.
Okay.
I could be wrong. Don't kill me on if you do. I'm a more GM guy, but it's a GTX, not a GTO, so it's apparently it's a rare car. I don't know, but so he said. So I believed him. So
I believe. Well, it's his ride. It's his ride, right? So
hey, he paid a lot of money for it, and from what I saw of it, there was nothing really there except for the body and the engine. So if he paid that much for just that, so I'm going to take his word for it, because otherwise he really got burned.
Craigslist deal, bad Craigslist deal, right there.
Yeah. Tell me about it.
So yeah,
very interesting. So, well, good luck with it, man. Good luck.
Thank you.
And
I think it'd be great for the sponsors. That's the main thing, is that anytime I can be seen on TV outside of a race car, wearing that sponsor's logo. By the way, this is my pitch. Sponsors who are listening in, this is me telling that your logo will be on TV.
Shameless plug.
Shameless, man. Shameless. Definitely.
You listening, Mr. Letterman?
Take advantage of that. Please take advantage of that. And the book as well. So yeah.
Right on. And Bill, how's everything going? Legends driver, but also going to school for anchors. How's school going, man?
Yeah, finished up school. Finished up my sophomore year at Ball State about, I think it was 4 weeks ago. So if Mr. Letterman's listening, go Ball State, chirp chirp.
Right on.
And then now back home from Indy. I spent the month down there working and checking everything out. It was a great race, and I'm sure we'll talk about that in a little bit.
Oh yeah.
But loving it. Now I'm just ready to get the final touches going. A couple meetings and such coming on in the next week or so, and then just getting the car all set to go. They had it out on the track, shaking it down this week, and my car owner brought it home in 6th. So it's got some speed this year, so I'm pretty excited. It'll be
awesome.
Good. I'm counting down the weeks until the first race, so I'm excited.
And the big announcement now, what's the main sponsor going to be on the side of the car there, Bill?
Yeah, we've got the Indy Sports Car Podcast will be on the side of the car this year. So
that's
very,
right.
very excited, very honored to be, having you guys along with me. It's been a blast I know we were just talking before the show. This is like my 9th or 10th time on here. So,
well, Bill, we were honored to
exciting.
even be asked, brother. Honestly, I mean, we were honored to even be asked to be part of your season and to be part of helping you go racing this year and this season, and we were honored to be asked by you, brother, to be honest. So, but
absolutely. Looking forward to getting you guys in victory lane this summer.
Oh, I mean, you better, because we're going to come down for the first race, man. So, I mean, I want pictures with trophies and everything.
Absolutely. Hopefully, we can make that happen.
Well, we got the best driver out in the field in the car, so if it doesn't happen, it's the car's fault.
It's always the car's fault. Right.
I'll make sure to remember that excuse for record that.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
good thing we're recording right now.
Yes, we are. I hope so. Yep. Still blinking. Right.
Yeah, you pressed the red button, right? Good.
Well, I always press the red button. I can't help it. OCD, buddy. So, alrighty. So
I didn't realize that Bill and I were both going for Mr. Letterman.
Who isn't?
So we're are we competing for his attention now, Bill? I didn't.
I mean, I study in a building that was named after him, so I just got to at least say hi to him if he's listening.
Oh, you got a leg up. Okay, you got a leg up there, man. I dig it.
Hey, I mean, word of mouth, maybe, possibly. If he is cool, if not, hey, it's a fun thing to say if it's true.
We're not trying to make the other listeners feel not important.
No,
hello to them too. They're just as important as Mr.
Yeah.
Letterman is.
Everybody's equally important. Love all the
absolutely.
Listeners, and they can reach us all on all of our great social medias. Where at, Missy?
And that would be www.theindysportscarpodcast.com.
Right on, and to follow Bill and his next season coming season coming up. Where can they follow you at there, Bill?
On Facebook, Billy Lehman Racing. Make sure to shoot a like on there, and then I'm also on Instagram, Billy.Layman, Billy Bille, spell it weird, sorry. Judge me, I'm over it. And then Twitter, Billy_IV. So yeah, make sure to shoot a follow, and I'll try and keep things interesting.
Right on. And Christian, where can they keep up with all your many endeavors, buddy?
Christian Aleixo Racing, ALEIXO Racing on Facebook. Please do give that a like. I don't really do the Twitter thing or the Instagram thing, so Facebook's probably best for me. Or Messenger Pigeon is also a excellent way. Smoke signals if you got that. I can see all that stuff. So,
Ravens.
But Facebook's probably the best way to go for sure.
Right on. Alrighty. Well, just wanted to get everybody's social media out there and everything, because we're going to go over a big end of a month of racing that was jam-packed with a lot of racing. May has come to a close, unfortunately to say, so we have to wait till next year for another month of May. But this month of May has been amazing. A lot of great races. But I would say the two main races we're going to talk about tonight is the Freedom 100 with Did Not Disappoint, as it never does, and the Indy 500, which, again, did not disappoint at all. I mean, craziness from the beginning to end, as usual. So, all right. And, yeah.
Before
and
you go there,
thing.
there was another, big race, Frank, but we're going to touch on it before we hit the, Indy Lights and IndyCar.
I know. Yep, like we always do. We always like to, touch on our favorite, open wheel racing from across the pond.
There was a Formula One race this weekend at Monaco, the famous Monaco.
I think I heard of that place before.
Just a little. I think it's just a little race.
In a little city, town, state, country thing.
I think I've heard of it, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So coming home in first this weekend for the Grand Prix of Monaco, you had Sebastian Vettel over Kimi Räikkönen, who got his first pole in a really long time. I forget how long they said.
9 years.
But it's been 9 years. It's been a while for Kimi. But he had the pole, but he unfortunately lost the lead on a pit stop. But that's how it goes in Formula One. So and then around the podium, you had Daniel Ricciardo, and then in fourth you had Valtteri Bottas, followed by Max Verstappen, Carlos Sainz Jr., and Lewis Hamilton. Then you have Romain Grosjean, Felipe Massa, Kevin Magnussen for your top 10. Then you have Julian Palmer, Esteban Ocon, Sergio Perez, Daniel Kvyat, Lance Stroll, Stoffel Van Dorn, Marcus Ericsson, Jenson Button, Pascal Whelan, and Nico Hulkenberg. And from Daniel Kvyat down, they didn't finish.
Yeah, I heard Jenson Button was pretty upset for some reason. I don't know why. He should have been pretty... I mean, he should have seen it coming, right? The car just breaking down, right? And then what happened?
No, he was... he got penalized for Pascal Wehrlein down in the corner before the tunnel. They collided, and Wehrlein actually flipped up over onto the barrier.
No kidding.
Yeah, and I guess... They said if Button comes back to Formula One, he has a grid penalty waiting for him. So
yeah,
wow.
So
that's nothing new to McLaren, though.
Yeah.
No. Well,
I thought it was funny that at the beginning of the race that of course Fernando Alonso talked to him through his little mic as he started the race, and he said someone says you better take care of my car or something, and Jenson Button said I'm going to pee in your seat. Which I thought was hysterical. I started laughing.
Really
you gotta love that relationship.
He's like, yeah,
if I had a nickel for every time a teammate peed in my seat, yeah.
I heard it's a very common occurrence. I mean, I heard stories from the 90s when somebody was really upset that somebody else was testing in their car, and all of a sudden they seen liquid kind of pouring out the bottom of it. This was back when the whole, the tub wasn't one solid piece, right? So, yeah, back in the Lola chassis, I think.
That's amazing.
Yeah. Peed right in his seat before he even started, right on the grid, right on pit lane. Whoever, I forget the story or who it was, but he was mad. Who wouldn't be? But I heard that's a common occurrence. You pee right in your seat, right? I mean, especially for like think about it, Indianapolis 500, right? 500-mile race. That's a long time. Especially if it goes red flag for I don't know, somebody flying 40 feet in the air into a fence.
No kidding.
You know, you're in the seat for a while, and you gotta go. You gotta go. They're not astronauts, you know.
No, man, for sure.
So
I guess besides that, this event was pretty uneventful.
what, the Monaco GP?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, hey, 2 Ferraris went 1-2.
Forza Ferrari.
That's the first time they've done it in. Wait, I got this one. 16 years.
Nice. Am I the only one that is a little bit annoyed with Vettel's Italian? I'm getting tired of hearing it. Were you just talking English or German or something? I don't know. Like, was he forced to learn the Italian language to race for Ferrari?
Yeah, you know, most of those drivers are like know 3 or 4 different languages.
Well, I've come to find out after, having so many fans across, in Asia and Europe, almost like everybody in Europe and in Asia, they're taught like 3 different languages in school, like mandatory.
See, we're slacking over here.
Oh,
aren't we though?
Oh yeah. Well, I was talking to one of our fans, and he had a buddy over, and I was telling him that we are only taught English, and anything else is just if you want to, but not mandatory. And they were actually surprised by that. They were like, "Really? Americans aren't taught 2 languages?" I'm like, no, just 1. And
we kind of think everything revolves around us, don't we? So what's the need?
Well, it
Right.
does.
What's the need?
It kind of
Right.
does.
That's
as far as I'm concerned, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, I gotta stop.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm joking. It's a joke. That's a joke, guys. Yeah, Adrian kills me.
Monaco GP.
He called me an ignorant American that doesn't know geography, and he's dead on.
Oh my goodness. And he was dead on. Nailed it.
Oh yeah.
I'll tell you how good Frank is with geography.
Oh no.
So early in our dating life here, he's Italian, of course. So it was Christmas time, and I was wondering. I said, "Do you do the 7 fishes?" And he says to me, he says, "I'm Northern Italian. That's Sicily." And I'm just like, aren't you from Sicily?
No, I said Naples.
Naples, my bad, Naples.
Yeah. Both sides of my family are from Naples. Yes.
Yes.
Which I didn't realize where Naples was in Italy.
Yes. Yeah. He's like, I'm Northern Italian. That's Southern Italian. I'm like, Naples? Wait a minute. Naples is in Southern Italy. Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
The answer was no. We do not do the 7 fishes. I don't like seafood anyway, so I'm glad. Not a seafood guy. Sorry. And besides, have you ever heard of what the 7 fishes are? Oh God! Even if I did like seafood, I wouldn't eat them. Ugh. I think one of them's eel, if I'm not mistaken. But okay, moving on. I don't. Bill, are you any Italian? Are you? I don't think so.
I am not. I am German and Irish.
Hey, I'm half German. There you go. Right,
So,
but the other part, I can't help you there.
You speak any German?
Me? No.
No, not you. Billy just said he was German. No, I'm not asking you. No,
Say-
no.
how do you say hello? It's Guten Tag, right?
Yeah, good. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's about all I got.
Gotcha.
And Dankeschön is thank you because I watched Vegas Vacation, national anthems.
Right.
Yeah. That's.
I've got to work. I've got to
as
work
far
on my
as-
German a bit.
And I know that Das Boot means the boat because I love that movie.
But you know what? English is a Germanic language. It's based off of German. So if you speak English, you should be able to pick up German pretty easily, as well as the other Germanic languages like Swedish and Norwegian. You should be able to pick all those up pretty easily, actually, if you speak English.
Well, that's good to know.
Mm-hmm.
Well, my boss is from Germany. He speaks fluent German. I've tried, with like the German or the Google Translator, and
Right.
I'll text in English and then translate it to German and send it to him. And I haven't picked up anything yet. I've been doing that for about 5 years.
Still working on it.
Yeah, it's a tough language. I hear him talk it. I can't make out any different words that he's saying. It just sounds like a bunch of gobbledygook to me. But
I hear.
that's my ignorant American side, I guess. Anyways, racing, guys, racing. So,
Yes.
okay, so that's F1. Great. Good job, Vettel. I think he's going to get the championship this year. So moving on, and oh yeah, poor Hamilton didn't have a childhood because he was so engrossed into racing. So really feel bad for him too. That was another
it's
story
just
from
so
that.
tragic.
I know. Just I shed a tear for.
Why do
for
bad
poor
things
guy.
happen to good people?
I know. That's
Right.
That's fucked.
I think karma just nipped him in the butt. That's why he started 13th. He wants to talk about how, Indy 500's easy and everything. That's what you get. 13th is what you're starting. Keep running your mouth.
It's like, are you surprised that how good Alonso's doing? Like, well, he's starting 5th and against a bunch of IndyCar drivers that have been doing this for how long? So how good can they be over there? I'm like, what? Yeah, Fernando Alonso is like just starting out in racing, right? Like he's not like a super talent. No, he's not the most like famous driver in the freaking world. I mean, come on.
Right.
I expected him to do what he did when he came over here. He should have. If he didn't, I would have been like, well, why is he? What makes him so good then? If he can't do this, I mean, I'm not saying driving around Indianapolis is easy, but a lot of people have successfully done it, So,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Pippa Mann comes over and does it once a year, fine. He should be just great at it. I mean, comparatively, because never mind. I'm not going to go deeper into that. Figure out
So
my
the Freedom
sarcasm.
100.
Yeah, that was a great
There we
race.
go. Yes, that was a great race. You had a different winner this time too. Matthias Least, I believe his last name is said.
Yeah.
And then
first
followed
oval
by
winner.
Aaron Telitz.
With the
and then
move
Dalton
of the
Collette.
race.
Yeah, at the very end there. Yes. And then you had Dalton Collette, who came in 3rd. And then Neil Albarico, Santi Urtia, Zachary Clayman DeMello, Garth Ricards, Juan Pietrheide, Kyle Kaiser, and Nico Yamin for top 10. And then you had Shelby Blackstock, Nicholas DePero, Colton Herta, and Ryan Norman, which Colton Herta and Ryan Norman had some contact together. Not sure how it started out. They replay it, but it looks like maybe Colton Herta didn't know that Dalton Collette was on the inside there, and he tapped him, and he spun a little bit, and then he took out his other teammate, Ryan Norman. So, ended their race.
And I think it's important
lap.
to mention that Dalton Kellett is also Colton Herta's teammate. So that was a
that was
interesting little bunch up right there.
Yes.
Yeah,
I was pulling for Aaron Telitz though. He got my fellow Wisconsinite. I really thought he had the car to win it, but unfortunate.
I mean, Lease had the pole. I mean, he pretty much dominated.
Yeah, it looked like Aaron was going to be able to give him a fight for a second, and then I think it was Kellett. Him and Kellett started battling, and that was kind of let Lease pull away after that. But it was a good race.
I definitely enjoyed it, and I'll tell you what, that move that Telitz pulled right at the end there. I mean, that's what makes the Freedom 100 always amazing to watch. I mean, okay, it wasn't for the lead this time. Finally, it only took 4 years, but it was for second place, which was still pretty amazing. Pretty much slingshot around at the last 100 feet.
Yeah, I think fans were getting greedy with the photo finishes the past 4 years, so it was good to kind of settle everybody back down again.
Yeah, well, I mean, it just goes for next year. They can get back to that next year, I suppose.
Absolutely.
I'll tell you what, it just goes to show you, man. Like, I mean, when Rob Howden was on a few weeks ago, we were just talking about how deep the talent is in Indy Lights this year. It's just pretty amazing. And Least is from GP2?
Oh.
I think he came over from.
Yeah.
And so it's really good to get because I know he brought a lot of eyes from Europe and everything over into Mazda Road Indy when he switched from GP2 to Indy Lights. So that's good to always get a broader audience over, and that's why IndyCar needs to start at least having one race abroad. We need to get back to that.
Not like we haven't tried.
No, but I mean,
act like IndyCar hasn't tried.
I'm not saying they haven't tried. I'm saying, okay, I was saying when they were trying before, I was saying they need to secure the tracks on this plot of land in between the Atlantic and the Pacific. And now they've done that. Now it's time to branch out. So now it's time to get a race abroad. That's all I'm saying.
I think it'll happen next year.
I really hope so. And
Where would you like to see him go?
where would I like to, or where do I think they're going to go?
Yeah, where would you
They're
like
gonna
to
go
go?
to Mexico?
I would like them to go to Surfers Paradise, which will not happen because V8 or whatever they're called now will not change their schedule. You know, IndyCar wants it in the beginning of the year, and V8 wants it at the end. So can't come to but where I think it's going to happen is Mexico City, but Puebla, Mexico, where there's an oval. So and a broad oval would be pretty cool.
Yeah, I agree with that. You know what kind of could be cool too, because I liked when Champ Car used to go to Brazil. That was always a cool race. But there's an oval down there in Brazil. I don't know if you guys know about it, called Curitiba, and it's run in reverse.
Really?
And there's a kink in it though. It's like all oval, and then there's just one little kink. So it's mostly and then you get like this little.
So it's like a Phoenix kind
right
of
hand right into a left hand. Yeah, and it's a weird one. It's run in reverse, and I think that could be a really cool venue. I think so.
Yeah, because the last time they were down in Brazil, it was a Hinch. It was I think Hinch won, didn't he?
Him and Sato had a battle to the end.
Yeah, Sato, of course, bonsai'd, early, and Oh, I shouldn't say that. Sato made a move that was too ambitious too soon, and Hinch capitalized and spanked him for it. It was a great race, though.
Yeah,
it was a fantastic race.
It was pretty much the last abroad race we've had, wasn't it? I can't remember any other race that was after that. That was the last time they were in Sao Paulo, I think.
Unless you can count Canada as abroad, but
no.
I don't.
No,
yeah, he's like, and I don't.
No, I mean, if Toronto's only 5 hours from me and I travel 16 to get to Iowa, nah, that's local. I mean, am I the only one that thinks we should invade Canada and just claim it as our own? I mean, we do it in everything else. Why do we stop at Canada?
All right. You know what? This is a racing podcast. We're not talking about taking over Canada. We're not taking over Canada.
That's what I mean. Set up in Alaska and just kind of march our way down.
And work south. Right? Set up in Alaska and work south.
Yeah, come north and come south. Where are they going to go? Back into the U.S.? Whatever.
Oh, God.
No, I'm kidding.
Moving
Canada. I love you guys. You guys are really nice. Like, it's not a stereotype. It's just the truth. Anyways, I mean, name a guy from Canada you don't like, other than Paul Tracy. But I mean, come on. I mean, how can you not like him after that Uber joke? I mean, come on. Maybe when he was racing, I wasn't a big fan of Paul Tracy, but now I like him. Moving on. So, anything else about the 100, the Freedom 100? Anything else? Other than pretty much more of the same, which was awesomeness. All right, moving on.
Yeah, I'm good.
Indy 500, rock on, rock on. All right, so I know everybody here picks Auto to win, which good job, guys. Yeah, right. A bunch of liars.
Hey, I picked him on my fantasy rival, if that counts.
Well, you had 500. You probably just was he like your last pick, and you just had enough money? Or...
He was in the middle. I had him towards the middle a little bit. He was. I'm not gonna lie and say I had him winning, but I thought he'd get a top 10.
Yeah.
It's hard to. It's when you have when you have 5 other teammates. It's hard to believe that.
It's true.
Honestly, like going into it, I thought every Andretti car had a legitimate shot at winning except Jack Harvey.
Definitely.
Yeah. Not for nothing, but Fernando Alonso surprised the heck out of me throughout the entire race.
He drove like a seasoned veteran.
Yes, he did. I mean, he led how many laps? His pit stops were spot on. Coming in, I mean, he's not used to that kind of pitting. He's used to 2 seconds, 3 seconds, you're out. There was a lot of green flag pit stops, which I was, happy to see because that's always exciting. And yeah, I mean, and then what is with Honda and blowing up engines all of a sudden? Ryan Hunter-Reay, then Fernando, and they all sounded the same when they went at full RPM, and then once they got into the toe, it was like wah, boom.
You know, I heard that they were expecting to lose.
Okay.
Billy Lehman.
Billy
Oh,
Lehman.
I cut out. My bad. I'm back.
That's so funny when you expecting to lose myself.
Yeah, I lost myself there. Lost my Wi-Fi connection. No, I heard a rumor that they were expecting to lose 8 cars throughout that race. So I think what it
three's not too bad then. Huh?
Yeah, like 3 ended up being they lucked out, I guess. But
I think it was the month of May they lost. I think it was 9 before the 500, so 12 altogether.
yeah, they
9
were
engines.
That's just insane.
That is really crazy.
But they're still.
I gotta say, I feel bad for Fernando. I mean, God comes over here, thought he'd have at least a decent race. Nope, not over here. Honda doesn't like you, Fernando. Honda just does not like you.
It's just the irony in that was just incredible.
Yeah, he gets out of the car and walks back to his pit stall. Whether it's Formula One or IndyCar, it's sad. I feel bad for the guy.
He handled it well, though.
And you know what? Bravo to the IndyCar fans that gave him a standing ovation as he did it. Because
guys,
put on a show.
I think he'll be back.
Full time or 500.
I think within the next 3 years we'll see him here full time.
I really hope so. I really hope so.
Maybe abroad,
that means,
guess, but I really think it'll happen.
Hey, I mean, his F1 contract's up this year.
And I don't know who's got an open seat that he's going to be happy with.
Honda McLaren when they come here next year with the 2-car team.
Exactly.
That's what I'm saying.
I'd love to see him on a road course.
This is all speculation, people. So I don't.
All
Oh yeah,
all
I don't have any. Yeah, this is just.
I did think that McLaren and Honda would be coming to IndyCar next year. I think this was their test run to see how it all operates.
Well,
yeah, I think. And you look,
whether Fernando Alonso will be that driver, I don't know. Hey, it could be Esteban Gutierrez.
Could be Stefan. Could be Stefan Wilson.
I like the sound of that. But yeah, speaking of Esteban Gutierrez, he's like the leading candidate to take over Sebastian Bourdais' seat for the remainder of the season, except for ovals, where Oriol Survey would step in.
No, I think there's some issue. There's other issues besides that though, because he's in Formula E. Yeah,
yeah, that's really.
And there's
like
three. There's like 3. I think dates that clash with IndyCar. They have it here. He'll be in Berlin when we're at Texas, New York when we're at Toronto, and Montreal when we're at Mid-Ohio.
Yeah, but he was quoted as saying that if it came down to him having to choose between Formula E and a better option, which IndyCar would be, he said he'd pick IndyCar. So
I don't think he's under contract with the Formula E in a sense that because he's not running the full season over there.
Yeah, I know, and according to
because they had just brought him on to run the Mexican E-Prix.
That's true. Yep.
And then it kind of flourished from there, but I could see him easily opting out of that if he had an IndyCar ride available.
I mean, wouldn't you?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I could blame him.
Yeah, definitely.
Absolutely.
So, I mean, it looks to be like. It's not confirmed yet. Nothing's written in stone. But how Dale Coyne was talking and what Gutierrez was talking, it looks like it's probably going to be Gutierrez for the road and street courses and Oriol Servia for the ovals.
But James Davidson's name is thrown into the mix also. So.
And
it should be after that performance that he put on.
Not too bad.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Performed really well. Absolutely.
But the other side of Dale Coyne though did spectacular. Ed Jones. Let's give it up for Ed Jones.
Robbed.
Yes, he was.
Absolutely robbed.
Do you think IndyCar gave it to Fernando just to kind of butter him up a little bit more, say, come on back next year, buddy?
She consider it a participation trophy. That's what it's
voted on by the media.
Right.
So, Frank, I don't know who you voted for, but
I didn't get a ballot. I wasn't there.
You and Missy didn't get the
weren't
memo,
there.
I guess.
No, not yet. Not yet.
Next year.
Next year, yes, next
So
year.
to the bigger name, though, I feel like with anything like that, the bigger name always wins out.
And you know, like you look at it, like Alonso was. It's not that he's not deserving. Like like we said, he drove like a seasoned vet. He led 27 laps, I think it was. He was very good. But you look at Ed Jones, and Ed Jones was faster than Alonso in like 2 of the practice days.
Yep.
He came out and qualified the best Coyne has ever done after his teammate had that huge shunt.
Yep.
And he had damage from the Dixon Howard crash that sent him all the way to the back, and he worked his way back up. And it's not like he was off strategy; like he was passing cars.
Yeah, I mean he lost.
Actually, he got sent to the back because he got penalized for working in a closed pit, so he had to start at the back of the field for that. So he came from the back. I mean, and he still went up third. I mean, come on.
He just rolled, and it's not like it was just.
I think he even said he had a hole in the bottom of his tub from something.
Yeah, that was
like
really?
the man had a broken nose there. He had a hole in the bottom of his car. He started at the back at one point. Really, he doesn't deserve Rookie of the 500.
Well, he's got Rookie of the Year sewed up.
He should have had this one too.
He's the only rookie though. So.
Yeah, well, that's probably why. Yeah.
But I mean, even
it always goes to the.
I think you get it because he's had a great season so far. Not just the 500. I mean, this is his first podium, but he's been in the top 10 quite a few races this year.
In my opinion, the podium itself should have solidified it.
Yeah. Yep.
And I don't care. Okay, give him co-rookie of the year. If you want Alonso to have it, give it co-rookie of the year then. But the fact that like I could see maybe if he finished like 6th, 7th, or worse, and just beat Alonso because of Alonso's motor. But the fact that he was on the podium, like that right there, should say, yeah, you're rookie of the year. That he was absolutely snubbed of that.
Yeah, I mean, Missy and I are on board with you. How about it, Christian?
Yeah, no, I agree with you on that, but like I said, I mean, when it's those things and it's something that's voted on.
I mean, I get it. I think he got it because it's Fernando Alonso. Coming from Formula One to do an oval, exactly. And that's why he got it. I get it, but I mean, it just. Ed Jones should have got it. I mean, it's just.
And I'm not trying,
like a co. I mean, come on, couldn't you get a co-rookie?
That's like I'm not trying to hate on Fernando Alonso.
No, not at all.
I think what he did was absolutely phenomenal. Not only his performance on the track, but his performance off the track. Like I was down in the hospitality area a lot, and to be able to see him, the way he dealt with the fans, there was just. Like, the guy never could get a moment to himself. He was always just surrounded by different photographers and fans, and just always, like, he'd jump out of the car, he wouldn't even get his balaclava off yet, and he had people putting pictures in his face to have him sign it.
Oh, yeah.
He just did. Well. He handled everything very well. He was very open to it. He didn't come over all conceited, like, yeah, I'm just going to do this. Like, he was open to learning, and, like, it was very impressive, but I just think Ed Jones was robbed.
Yeah, and
and not to be a conspiracy theorist because I'm not, but I think that
not liking when
we kind of as the well on this side of things, we also forget that racing is a business, right?
Absolutely.
And making him rookie of the race is just good for business. It's better for business than Ed Jones being up there, and so we kind of forget the politics end of it as the fan.
It's funny. It's funny you mentioned that, Christian. Dale Coyne said in an article today. It said, "This is the Indy 500, not the marketing 500," and that that ties it right to exactly what you said there. That he's thinking the same thing. As it was a marketing ploy.
Yeah.
That's what I said too. Yep. I know why you got
enough of it the month of May. I mean, come on. Probably got bigger numbers than ever in our history here with Fernando over here, and you got to snub poor Ed. Yeah. I'm behind you, Ed. I think you deserve it.
You know what?
We're with you.
Sato wins a 500. Elio comes in second. The biggest story coming out of the weekend and on social media, everybody's talking about it, that Ed Jones should have got the Indy 500 rookie title. So that's.
I mean, there's the fair share that Fernando Alonso was rightfully deserved. I mean, it's gonna be split down the middle. I mean, I get why Fernando Alonso got it. It was just at Ed Jones' expense, and it just sucks.
Not for nothing. It's not like Fernando, wasn't fast all month.
No, absolutely.
Never rode straight ovals in his life, and came over.
If Ed Jones doesn't finish on the podium, Fernando deserves it completely.
Sure.
I agree completely. Like, he did fantastic. It was just the fact that Ed was just as fast and finished on the podium.
Now, I mean, like, was I the only one watching Fernando? And he was creating the biggest. A lot of rookies do this in their first 500 that I noticed, where every apex he was getting right down next to that grass every single turn. And I'm like, if he keeps that up, he's going to, run his tires right off, and he's going to lose it before his stint's over. And we see it time and time again with the rookies doing it, but it never happened. So I think Firestone supplied a heck of a tire for the Indy 500 this year.
Absolutely.
Not that Honda supplied a heck of an engine, but the tires were spot on.
Hey, they're still the winners, though. You got to hand it to them.
That is true. With all
still won.
With all the problems Honda had, they were 2 out of 3 on the podium. That's true.
Yes, they were.
Speaking of which, so as we said, Takuma Sato was your winner. First one for him, of course, and first Japanese driver to win an Indy 500. Then you have Elio Castroneves, followed by Ed Jones, round out your podium. Then you had Max Chilton, Tony Kanaan, Juan Pablo Montoya, Alexander Rossi, Marco Andretti, Gabby Chavez, and Carlos Munoz finished in top 10. Then you had Ed Carpenter, Graham Rahal, Michaela Lotion, Simon Pagino, Sebastian Saavedra, Jared Hildebrand, Pippa Mann, Spencer Piggott, Joseph Newgarden, and James Davidson. And then, is that the last? Wait, let me just make sure. Can't even see. Yeah. Okay. So James Davidson starts the cars that were out due to contact or mechanical failure. So you have James Davidson, Oral Servia, James Hinchcliffe, Will Power, Fernando Alonso, Charlie Kimball, Zach Veach, Ryan Hunter-Reay, Sage Karam, Buddy Lazier, Connor Daly, Jack Harvey, Scott Dixon, and Jay Howard was your finishing order.
Now,
and there was quite a few cautions in this race. There was 11 of them. And the first one started out with,
I believe.
Yes, something like that.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it would have been even more if they didn't go red flag during that.
Absolutely.
Oh boy.
Yeah, the first, they went the first 50 and it was good, and then after that, it was just the old saying, "Yellows breed yellows," was definitely true.
Yeah, and now Jay Howard really threw Ryan Hunter-Reay under the bus for no reason at all. Did anybody see Ryan Hunter-Reay do anything wrong?
That's the thing is. First of all, there really wasn't anything wrong there. Secondly, if you're 3 laps down, you could have, if you saw the leaders coming, you could have got out of it halfway down the straightaway to give him room.
Yeah, that was a
I don't get why he was racing him hard into turn 1 when I think Ryan was 3rd place at the time.
And I wouldn't even call it racing him hard into turn 1. I mean,
no, he went up there and he tried getting back down, and he blamed Ryan for not. I mean, for driving across him or something. But I don't know what you expect him to do. He's not gonna.
Yeah.
You don't expect the leaders to, and Christian, you can attest to this too. When you're driving, you don't expect the leaders to really give way to the lap cars. Like, the lap cars are supposed to get out of the way.
Absolutely, that's the etiquette.
Yeah.
For sure.
Not trying to hate on Jay Howard, but I don't exactly understand what he was trying to do there by throwing Ryan under the bus for it.
No, and he entered the turn in the middle of the freaking track, for crying out loud. I mean, you couldn't get any higher entering turn 1, man. And he just continued that right up into the wall. Like, it was the worst. It was the worst driving I've ever seen of somebody hitting the wall. Like,
very, very happy he and Scott were okay, though. That was a scary crash.
For sure.
Very
For
happy they
sure.
both were able to walk away from that.
Was I the only
No,
one that
I-
said aren't those back pods behind the wheel supposed to prevent this exact thing from happening?
Yeah, that they just folded right up when Scott hit him.
They acted like a freaking skid for him.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
That was scary. That was real scary. Oh my goodness, that was scary. I mean, there was only one tire attached to the tub that was left of the car. It was the tub, the left front tire. That was it. Everything
I was
else
oblivious.
was just in pieces everywhere.
Absolutely obliterated.
And how Scott got out of there was just. I mean, that was.
And is expected to be back in Detroit a week later, back in the car. That's
Hey.
So I
crazy.
So I would
Yeah,
say
he is
the-
wearing a walking boot at the moment, but he is expected to race this weekend.
Yeah, so I would say I think the biggest winners of the weekend was Delara.
Yes, the biggest winners of the month.
Tell me about it.
You know, after Seb's crash as well, like the way that.
Oh yeah, I mean, because he hit exactly like Hinch did, and those pieces of titanium that they came up with after Hinch hit, and the swing arm went through the tub, pretty much saved. No doubt about it that those swing arms would have went right through the tub just like they did at Hinch, and who knows where they would have pierced Sebastian. I mean,
And
Hinch
kudos to Tony George and for all his efforts into getting the safer barrier as well, because that definitely saved his life.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, but I still, thank goodness. I mean, Dixon had the worst week. Jesus, I mean, he gets pole and he gets robbed. I mean,
Yeah, no kidding.
Right.
I mean, then he gets airborne. Then, I mean, oh my goodness.
You know what the funny thing is though is that McDonald's is a partial sponsor on that car. It's like, what were you doing at Taco Bell, man?
Oh well.
What were you doing? This wouldn't have happened at Mickey D's.
Taco Bell has.
I live here in Indy. This stuff only happens at Taco Bell, man.
Well, they have fourth dinner or fourth meal, whatever. You're right. They're all open till 3.
Right. It's that fourth meal that gets you in trouble. It comes with a risk. You got to risk certain things for fourth meal. And he lost that one.
Well, I heard they got him. Like a half hour later, they got him, and excuse me, and Emma got her purse back and everything. But when they did rob him, it was a weird story that I for some reason I remember. Something about Dario and Dixon both had on watches that combined value were worth double the Lexus that they were in, or something like that.
Oh,
Because Dixon had on some rare Rolex, because apparently he's like some watch freak, like some rare watch collector freak guy. And Dario had on his Lucky Daytona watch or something. And apparently Dixon's watch must be really freaking expensive, because I don't know how much a rare Rolex is, but I know how much a regular one is, and it's still about the cost of a Lexus. So but they didn't. They just took wallets and the purse, right? I don't exactly remember what they took, but they got it back. And
at least
they
a
lost.
rough week for Scott.
Yeah, Dixon didn't. I mean, a lot of good and bad, I would say.
And I don't have the facts to back this up, guys. But as for Dixon, I don't have him in front of me, but I'm pretty sure that was his first DNF at Indy.
That's unfortunate. That's
I don't. Like I said, I'm not 100%.
Considering how many he's been in, that's pretty.
I can't.
impressive.
I can't think back to him ever crashing out, or like he's always been.
And just want to throw it out there, more of the same for Will. Yeah.
Another
involved in a wreck.
Although he always.
Is.
I know you guys are Will fans, but something always happens to him that he screws himself out of a good finish there. Him and that oval just do not get along.
Nope. But
He had no control over that one.
No, he did not.
Nowhere to go. He just got caught up in, I think, was it like 5 or 6 cars involved in that accident?
I believe so.
Yeah, not his fault whatsoever.
Who started that? Was that the one that Connor started, or was Connor?
No, that was
in one?
Davison and Serbia got together.
That's what it was. Yeah. Although Connor's wreck was, what was that about? I mean, that looked weird. It's like, I don't know what he was trying to do, or
he had said that he wasn't expecting that bottom line to check up so much. And when you look at it, they really did, because he came with a full head of steam, and they were.
Yeah, but something happened in front of him. Who was that?
I was watching the replay today, and I kind of blame. I guess not blame, but Juan Montoya went on the inside of Pagano through turn 2.
Okay.
So Pagano had to get way out of it, and then
because we all know turn 2 is a great passing turn.
Yeah, exactly. You want to pass through turn 2 at Indy.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, Pagano passed Montoya passed Pagano through turn 2, and then everybody kind of had to check up coming down the straightaway, and Connor didn't have to check up because he was far enough back, and it just everybody got bundled, and then
unless you're Ryan Hunter-Reay off of a restart, you don't do it into turn 2.
No, not at all.
Or TK, for that matter.
Yeah, so could Connor have gotten out of it? Yeah, but I think the start of that all went back to turn 2 with Montoya.
Well, there you go. Yeah. So I'm glad
all the incidents happened in turn 2.
Yeah,
except for Connor's accident and with who did he collect with him? Is that Jack Harvey?
Jack Harvey.
Yeah, so his was in turn 3, but everybody else was in turn 2.
I felt
turn
bad
2 is
Shank.
not very forgiving at Indy.
No. I mean, and because I was talking to Eric today, Eric Fulgaris, who was a spotter for Zach Beach, Zach Beach was one of the few victims of the bad alternator for Honda. If the engine wasn't blowing for Honda, the alternators were going.
He doesn't drive a Honda.
Beach was a Chevy.
Okay, so the Chevy alternators
him and Karen were both alternators.
Yep. Are they both Chevys? Was Karen Chevy?
Yep. Dry Rumbled was a Chevy.
Oh, yeah. So there you go. I'm sorry, I'm not used to Veach and Karen being in a car, so
Right.
And I hear technical or car failure, so I automatically think Honda. My bad, guys.
I thought it was funny that they pushed Veach's car over to the snake pit.
And you saw the fans come running.
And that's where it sat for the left of the race. I was like, wow. That's not where you'd want to leave this multi-million-dollar piece of machinery.
Yeah, probably not the safest place for it.
Oh, no. I said, wow, they're... So I was in 3, and I've just watched them just push it over. I'm like, that doesn't make a lot of sense, guys.
I mean, it's legendary that's
don't put it in the snake pit. What are you doing? Yeah.
Salsa blind.
Yeah, sucks for Karam as well. Yeah,
that was fun. but yeah, I mean, yeah. So if we wanted to give a grade to this race, everybody, Missy, starting with you. What grade would you give it?
I'd give it an A.
Solid A?
Yeah, I'd give it a solid A.
Right on. Billy?
Oh man, I was hoping it'd get around to me. I'd go an A minus. I think it would have been good to have. I just think those engine failures took out 3 really fast cars.
Yeah.
And it would have been really fun to see those guys in that final 20 laps. It was
shaping up to be one heck of a.
It was going to be a really good battle.
Everybody
Kimball was quick. Hunter-Reay was fast all day.
And I love how the race ended with last 20 laps. Everybody was just full rich. Nobody was saving fuel. It was just
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly. And not to take it away. Like last year's was so exciting watching Rossi, pull that off. But it was going to be cool to see them just going battle to battle, kind of like it reminded me of Elio with Hunter-Reay back in 2014 when Elio came so close to that 4th one yet again. But no, I'd give it an A+ if if maybe 1 or even 2 or 3 of those cars would have hadn't those engines blown, but it was still exciting, and I'm happy for Takuma. That was a good win.
Absolutely.
Very well said. Christian?
I also give it an A minus. Well, yeah, there's nothing in between an A and an A minus. So I kind of want to go in between the A and the A minus, but there's nothing there, right? So no, we'll go with an A minus on this one. Definitely an exciting race, and the finish was just incredible. I thought, and because I was looking at it from like a historic standpoint, and I just that's what gets it to be cool for me, was that either way it was going to be a historic win, whether it was Castro Neves putting himself up there with the GOATs, getting that fourth, or if it was going to be Sato breaking, I don't want to say a racial barrier, but just becoming the first Asian in general to win the 500. Either way, it was going to be something historic, and which made it a win-win for everybody, really. And good win for him, and it's just really, really cool to see, man. Can't wait till it's my turn.
Yeah, definitely. There you go.
Damn it, right?
Well, think about it, and I mean, it's the first podium that a native of the United Arab Emirates have ever, stood on there, right? At Jones.
Yeah, that's right. From Dubai.
Yep.
From Dubai, so yeah, historic for sure, man. Just a great time, and there were rompers this year. I mean, that, you know what? It's an A. I'm sorry, guys. I'm taking it back.
You talked yourself right into an A.
There were man rompers at the race, so that puts that an A already. I can't believe I forgot that. So yeah, it's an A for me.
Right on.
Yeah.
I guess it's my turn, huh?
I'm getting you one for Christmas, by the way, Frank.
Right on. Thanks, buddy.
Oh yeah.
I'll well, definitely in person though. Yeah, I'll accept.
And Melissa, you make sure he wears it, all right?
Absolutely.
All right.
Well, I'm going to give it an F because Will didn't win. Moving along. No, I'm kidding. No, it was definitely an A. I'm going to give it an A. I mean, past couple of years, it's been either like a fuel save, which, I mean, come on, it was pretty crazy what Rossi did, but it wasn't exciting to watch, but it was at the same time. But hey, I'd rather watch people battling it out than a guy coasting down every straightaway he can. But that was still good. But with all the action that was going on, I mean, from lap 1 to lap 200, it was exciting no matter what was going on, with engines blowing up. I mean, you had a little bit of everything, I think. Engines blowing up. You had. I'm not going to say crashes were exciting because I don't like to see crashes at all, but just happy everybody was safe and
15 different leaders.
I mean, that
at
was
one
great.
point.
That was the record, right? They set a new record, I heard, for lead changes.
No, I wouldn't think this year was that. I think there was back in 2000.
There was 35
13?
lead changes
35 lead changes
in this race. Yeah.
Wow, is that the record?
That's what they said over the loudspeaker.
Oh, right on.
We have a new track record.
Yeah, because I remember, what was it, the first year of the Aero kits, they set a record for lead changes, because it was like every turn 1 and turn 3, like the lead was changing a bunch of times during, like, towards the end of each stint, I think. And that was like the last record, so that's the record they broke, or must have broke, I suppose. But hey, Andretti, back-to-back wins. So how about that?
Indeed.
Yeah.
And Rossi was fast this year, man. That was kind of cool. Winning it off a strategy last year, but actually being up there the whole time this year, for the most part. Was cool to see. Was cool to see that. That would have been a cool story too, if he had won it back-to-back as well.
I mean, he could never win it in the car, but he owns one and he goes back-to-back. So. Good. I'm happy for Michael. I mean, he was the first one over the wall running, going, yeah, with his arms up in the air, So I get to kiss the bricks again. Yeah. Never got to do this with a helmet on, but all right. I was a little bit disappointed. I wanted to see Spider-Man, climb the fence to get an Indy and see it for the 4th time, but hey, Elio is. Okay, here we go. Elio and TK, guys. How many more years? How many more times are we going to see him at Indy, you guys think? I mean, this is definitely not their last year by far, but they're getting up there, boy, aren't they?
4 or 5.
4 or 5? Okay. I kind of agree with you there, Missy.
I was going to say 3, 4.
Okay, Bill?
I think we lost Billy.
Bill's gone. I just noticed.
Oh,
Yeah, I think we lost him.
Bill, Bill in Indy with his Wi-Fi wasn't doing too good, I guess.
Yeah, get him to come back in. But no, I think definitely. They are getting older, but when you're that close, it's like, do you want to stop, or do you just keep going at it till you get that one? Nobody wants to call it a day being that close.
No, definitely not.
That hurts way worse than if you weren't close at all, to be honest. So no, I say at least another 4 or 5. Yeah.
I mean, I think the other impressive one, which I don't think anybody is talking about, is Max Chilton finishing 4th.
Yeah, like when you were reading off the leaderboard, I was like, oh yeah, that's right, Chilton did get 4th. Like that was even amazing, Like I'm not saying that he's bad by any means, but it's an oval, number one, and number two, he really hasn't done a whole lot in the last 2 years of him being an IndyCar. So good for him, happy for him.
Yeah. I can't really get with Chilton, man. Just
find it hard, huh?
I struggle to like the man, and it's not. It has nothing to do with his driving.
Your opinion.
I
never said that.
Well,
Come on, Frank. Don't lie. You don't like him. I just pick him all the time in my fantasy just to torque you.
It's not even his driving. It's where he lost me was after his wreck at Phoenix. That's kind of where
this year,
where
last year.
Oh no, this year.
Okay.
He bombed out at Phoenix, and he got out of the car, and they did the whole post race. Well, not the post race, I guess the mid race interview, just talking to him about what happened during the wreck. And I don't know if you guys saw the interview, but he was literally trashing the race as the race was going on. These ovals, they're all so predictable, and and blah 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 blah. IndyCar shouldn't come back. And I was just like,
IndyCar shouldn't come back to Indy. I mean,
as somebody
half the name of the series.
Right. I mean, as somebody who loves ovals myself, to hear him just bad mouthing the ovals that are on the circuit just didn't sit well with me. But then what really pissed me off as somebody, and I hope potential sponsors are listening into this, because this is what really pissed me off more than anything, was that during the interview, he had his arms folded over the Gallagher logo on his chest.
Oh, big no-no.
And that just really, really irked me,
I'm sure his dad yelled at him afterwards about it.
Yeah, I'm sure, but
oh, Jesus.
Missy
shooting.
It is.
Missy
it's the truth. That Gallagher is his dad's business.
Missy's shooting 59 tomahawks off of 2 battle ships right there.
I'm just stating simple facts, that's all. That's his dad's company. Nobody knew that.
That's what it is, But as somebody who, obviously is in that fight for sponsorship and is struggling to find, the funds to run the whole year, just really, really grinds my gears when I see a driver do something like that. On top of bad mouthing the race that's still going on, like, dude, you are so privileged right now to even be here at Phoenix. You're doing something that the rest of us could only, I'd push my grandmother down a flight of stairs if it meant that I could run Phoenix,
oh man,
and wouldn't feel bad about it, And it's
I'm sure your grandmother would understand. It's okay, honey. Have fun at Phoenix with my broken leg.
Exactly. Exactly. What a privilege to be there. So for you to badmouth the series and the race and just and I still think obviously he's got his eyes on going back to F1 at some point, or trying to get to F1 at
right. Just like what was it? Who was it? Who said that? Pastor Maldonado. Yeah, right. Just like him. Did you hear that? Like, oh, I had plenty of F1 opportunities, but they weren't good enough, so I turned them all down last year.
See,
Sure you did. Yeah, all right, buddy.
I think IndyCar needs guys who want to be here, though. That's the thing, you know.
Exactly. I
Just
fully
something
agree.
you do because you couldn't find a ride elsewhere.
Right.
You know, the sport is good enough. I think IndyCar puts on a good enough product that we need guys who want to be here.
Well, and the beauty of it is Mazda Road to Indy is producing some great talent that's going to be coming up, and they all want to be here very badly. So,
Right.
you know what, Chilton? You know, if you got a problem, just bounce on out because there's plenty of other people that have a lot more talent than you do
man.
that can take over your seat. Yeah,
Definitely.
I,
You know,
I
and,
hope Chip feels the same way.
Oh, that
come
was the
next
same
year.
interview where he said, "Oh yeah, my first 200 meters was great." Right? That's that same race, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Because I started laughing when we said that. Oh yeah, my first 2 meters was going great. I was like,
Yeah,
wow.
listen, back.
But yeah.
Speaking of Detroit, the Detroit doubleheader is coming up this weekend, I believe, right, Missy?
Yes, it is.
So,
Yes, it is.
lowdown for the showdown this Thursday, guys. Make sure you catch it before you make your Indy Rivals picks. If you want to join our league, it's ISCP Rivals in the public leagues.
I did pretty well this week, being 10th, as like half my lineup was, involved in crashes.
Well, I think so was everybody else's. That's why. But at any rate, last year when he crashed at Detroit, Missy does a great job. Whenever we're not at the track, she records all the green start or green flag starts and all the wrecks, and we post it up on Twitter and Facebook. And Chilton, like while he's at the track, literally like about 2 minutes after Missy posts his wreck, Chilton retweets it and likes it and everything. Yeah, he retweets his own wreck. So I saw him at Watkins Glen last year, and I talked to him. I'm like, you retweeted our video of you crashing at Detroit. Why? Because I wouldn't. Right? Why did you do? It's been a question burning that I've needed to ask you, and I just got to ask you. And he goes, "Oh, I remember that. It's because my rear suspension broke, and I wanted to retweet it so people saw that it wasn't me that crashed; it was the rear suspension that crashed." And I'm like, and I'm thinking to myself, nobody got that from the video we posted, buddy. Nobody knows that your rear suspension is the reason why you crashed. They just saw you crashing. That's it, buddy. So, but really, thanks for helping us out and getting our name out there. I really appreciated it. So, thanked him.
No, that's a boost for you guys for sure.
Oh yeah. Yeah. We did actually pretty good during the 500 this week. I want to thank all the new fans for following, and hopefully, maybe if this is your first show, welcome, and expect more of the same of this great, awesome show, because this has been a lot of fun. But as like all shows do, Missy, they come to an end, and I think we're at that time. So,
well, real fast before we end it, I just want to throw out this weekend's schedule. The Rise in IndyCar Series will practice 1 will be at 10:20 a.m. on Friday, June 2nd. It's all going to be streaming on IndyCar.com. They're going to be doing Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. Practice 2 will be at 3:30 p.m. to 4:15 on Friday, June 2nd. And then they're having a series pit stop practice, okay, from 4:20 to 4:35. Again, it's all streaming on IndyCar.com, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. Then on Saturday...
Shout out to Will Power's team winning the pit stop challenge at IMS.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, well, that's something.
So then on Saturday, you have the Ryzen Series qualification for Race 1, which will happen at 10:05 a.m. to 10:35 a.m., and that will all be streaming on IndyCar.com, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube, because it's on ABC again. So then the ABC broadcast window on Saturday will start at 3:30 p.m. and go to, say, roughly like 6 for the Race 1. And then Race 2, the qualification session for Race 2 will happen on Sunday, June 4th at 10:45 a.m. p.m. to 11:15. And again, that's all streaming, IndyCar.com, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. And then the ABC broadcast window will start at 3:30 p.m. and that is all Eastern time. Of course, it doesn't say on here. Oh, yes, it is. All Eastern time. So 3:30 to 6.
Right
On Sunday.
And on behalf of Billy, I just want to say again, on Twitter, he's at Billy, it's Bille, or that slash that's on the bottom, not in the middle. I don't know what that's called. And then IV, so it's fourth. I guess he's the fourth. Who knows? And yeah, follow him on Twitter, and then it's Billy Lehman Racing on Facebook. And again, the big news: the Indy Sports Car Podcast is his main sponsor in his Legends car. So we're happy to, be a part of that. So, and thank you.
Hey, where's he running, by the way?
He does the Legends circuit around the Indianapolis area.
I'll come check him out for sure.
Definitely. I think his first race is, I believe, July 3rd. If I want to,
okay.
I'm pretty sure, yeah, July 3rd. And Christian, where's your social media real quick there, buddy?
Sure. It's Christian with a K. Christian and Aleixo, Aleixo Racing. If you go on Facebook, should be the only one who pops up. So, and you can go and add me on my personal account as well. I don't mind that. I do like to interact with the people. So, that's cool. And any potential sponsors listening, I will never cross my arms in an interview and cover
you
up your
always
logo.
got to make sure you Velcro your and you got to Velcro the top, where your neck, always got to make sure you do that.
That's right.
And whenever you're on TV and they interview you, always take your sunglasses off. That's a big pet peeve of mine.
Exactly. That's another one.
That drives me nuts.
One as well.
Especially if you're Scott Dixon and you like wearing those giant yellow goofy giant sunglasses that you buy at Disney World. Hey, he took them off, put them on his hat. That's cool. So right on.
That's right.
Alrighty, and we are also, you can catch us on iTunes, Stitcher Radio, Podbean app is a great app, and always on demand at reddragonsradio.com. And we're also now, for the last couple of weeks, and we've been getting a lot of good views, I've noticed, on YouTube, so it's always easy to find there too. So, and they can find all that stuff at where, Missy?
www.theindysportscarpodcast.com.
Right on. And on that note, Missy.
Podcast around.
And on that note, that I know that Frank, well, he sometimes knows. Christian knows. And Billy, well, I'm not too sure he knows,